Let's begin with the phenomenon itself. Across cultures and throughout history, people have reported what we call lifetime dreams, experiences where they fall asleep and subjectively live decades in another reality, only to awaken moments later. Consider the Japanese office worker documented by psychiatrist Dr. Masahiro Fujishiro, who lived 47 years as a medieval blacksmith, mastering his craft, raising 3 children, and mourning his wife's death, all within a 90-minute nap. Or the ancient Chinese philosopher Zhuangzi, who famously wondered upon waking from a dream of being a butterfly, whether he was a man dreaming of a butterfly or a butterfly dreaming of being a man. These aren't just strange stories. They represent a profound challenge to our understanding of consciousness. They force us to ask, what is the ontological status, the very mode of existence, of the reality we experience in dreams? This question sits at the intersection of neuroscience, philosophy, and spiritual tradition, shaking the foundation of our assumption that waking life is categorically more real than the private worlds of sleep. To understand why these dreams matter, we need to look at phenomenology, the philosophical study of experience as it appears to consciousness. It starts with Franz Brentano's idea of intentionality. Consciousness is always consciousness of something. His student Edmund Husserl took this further, arguing we should investigate phenomena as they appear, setting aside questions of external existence. But it was Jean-Paul Sartre who applied this directly to dreams. In The Psychology of Imagination, Sartre made a crucial point. While the objects in dreams might feel unreal, the act of consciousness directed toward them is undeniably real. The terror or joy you feel in a dream isn't simulated, it's genuine affective consciousness. As Sartre wrote, for the consciousness that dreams, the dream world is the world. Its unreality is only apparent from the awakened perspective. This creates what we might call the first-person validity problem. From within the dream, the experience has its own coherence and truth. Contemporary thinker Evan Thompson builds on this with his concept of enactive cognition. The brain doesn't generate consciousness, but enacts worlds of experience. In waking, it enacts the consensual world. In dreaming, it enacts the dream world. The process is similar, challenging us to ask, by what criteria can we privilege one enacted world over another? While Western philosophy analyzes dreams, Tibetan Buddhism takes a radical, practical approach through dream yoga, or milam. This tradition, traced to the 8th century master Padmasambhava, views both waking and dreaming as projections of mind empty of inherent, independent existence. As teacher Tenzin Wangyal Rinpoche explains, in dreams, projections change quickly and are easily recognized as such. In waking, they're more stable, so we believe them solid, but their nature is the same. Dream yoga involves progressive stages. First, developing mindfulness and dream recall. Then, cultivating lucid dreaming, maintaining awareness that you're dreaming while in the dream state. But unlike Western lucid dreaming, often focused on adventure, Tibetan practitioners use lucidity for philosophical investigation. Once lucid, they engage in what scholar J. Garfield calls phenomenological reduction within the dream, asking, what is the substance of this dream body? Where does sensation arise? What is the mind perceiving this? By investigating from within, they directly apprehend the illusory, mind-projected quality of all experience. The Dalai Lama notes that through this, one realizes the dream body isn't substantial, then applies this to waking life, leading to the realization that all phenomena lack inherent existence. From this view, a lifetime dream is a spontaneous glimpse of emptiness, a potent, if confusing, revelation of reality's insubstantial nature. Modern neuroscience offers a complementary perspective on how these experiences are possible. Research into the neurophenomenology of dreaming reveals that the brain doesn't just create dream content, it constructs dream time. Neuroscientist J. Allen Hobson's AIM model shows that REM sleep creates a state of high internal activation with minimal external input, ideal for generating immersive virtual realities. But more relevant to lifetime dreams is work on temporal experience. Dr. Aaron Wamsley's research indicates that dreams don't replay memories in real time. They construct narrative sequences that can feel much longer than their clock time duration. The brain has a remarkable capacity to generate the feeling of lived duration through narrative compression. a story spanning years, can be represented in neural patterns firing in minutes. This relates to what David Eagleman calls time perception elasticity. During high-intensity experiences, the brain records memories at higher density, creating the subjective impression of expanded time. From a neurophenomenological view, championed by thinkers like Francisco Varela, the lifetime dream is an extreme case of the brain's ability to enact a fully realized temporal world. The neural mechanisms that build our sense of passing days in waking life are co-opted in REM sleep to generate a compressed but phenomenologically complete lifespan. The idea that dreaming is a valid reality isn't new or exclusive to the West. Anthropological studies show many indigenous cultures view dreaming as an alternative but equally real mode of engagement. For Australian Aboriginal peoples, the Dreamtime or Tijukurpa isn't just a mythological past. It's an ongoing parallel reality accessible through ritual, dream, and art. As Elder Nganiancha Iliat Jari explained, the dreaming is here right now. We go there in ceremony and in dream. It is another country, but just as real as this one. Similarly, in Mesoamerican Maya traditions, dreams are seen as portals to other realms. Classical Indian philosophy, particularly Advaita Vedanta, offers sophisticated analyses of reality states. The Mandakya Upanishad systematically compares waking, dreaming, and deep sleep, pointing toward a fourth state that transcends all three. What these diverse traditions share is a rejection of the modern Western buffered self, the idea of the individual as separate from an external reality. Instead, they present a porous self, a consciousness that participates in multiple reality frames, each with its own validity. This cultural context enriches our understanding, showing that questioning dream reality is a profound human inquiry spanning millennia. So, what does all this mean for our understanding of reality? The convergence of phenomenology, contemplative practice, and neuroscience leads to what we might term the experiential reality principle. The validity of an experience isn't determined by its correspondence to external consensus reality, but by its phenomenological completeness and transformative impact on consciousness. By this principle, someone who subjectively lives 50 years in a dream isn't wasting neural resources. They're accruing what philosopher Owen Flanagan calls experiential capital, the accumulation of lived understanding, emotional development, and even wisdom, regardless of the narrative's origin. The implications are profound and unsettling. It suggests that if a life is lived in its fullness, with love, loss, growth, and identity formation, does it matter what substrate hosted that narrative? The individual awakening from a lifetime dream doesn't return to reality. They transition from one enacted world to another, bearing what philosopher Angela Carter might call ontological scars: grief for phantom children, muscle memory of skills never physically learned, shifted priorities. This experience confronts the multiplex nature of consciousness, our capacity to generate, inhabit, and be transformed by multiple coherent worlds. In the silent theater of mind, the dream of a lifetime remains, in the only currency that ultimately matters to consciousness, a lifetime lived.